Hey everyone, welcome to the Dr. Ketones 10-day ketone challenge page. Hope you're all excited to be doing the challenge with us. This is going to be a great little guide for those of you who have never done the challenge before, or maybe have used the ketones and just want a little better help on how to use them best. So I'm going to give you some tips on optimal use. So feel free to drop any questions in the comments if you do, and I will get to them at the end. So first, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Jason Pape, also known as Dr. Ketone. I'm a functional medicine chiropractor and ketogenic lifestyle specialist, and I know these little things really well. So you guys are connected to me either directly or indirectly. Some people I already work with. So we're going to go over just some things, and we're going to use this group, guys, is for you. All right, is to get you guys questions answered. It's going to get you to use these things optimally, let you know about new technology, sales, stuff like that, but also to make a community and a place for support. So feel free to use this as much or as little as you want, whether it's posting in there questions, not just in this video, but in the group, photos before and afters, your progress, your favorite flavor. If you should bring someone else to the keto conversation that is using the keto challenge or ketones, feel free to invite them to the page so they can learn more and we can help grow this community. Even questions about the ketogenic diet, feel free to drop them in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them for you. The only thing we do ask is that we don't do any kind of soliciting within the group. That's really it. So let's talk about ketones. So guys, if you've ordered a keto challenge kit or ketones in general, we're gonna go over the best ways to use it. So first of all, you should have a packet that looks something like this. Usually has a label on it. This is right now this is blueberry acai and it's prototype form. Sometimes you'll get a stick pack. Those are usually made like that. Sometimes to make it easier to pour into a bottle of water. So I usually recommend people get a shaker cup. Something looks like this. You can use I usually use cold water, and you can use room temp water. We don't usually use hot water. You can heat up a water temp a little bit if you'd like a different flavor to have a slight warmth to it, like the Swiss cacao. But I wouldn't boil water and then add ketones, and we always heat the water up before we add the ketones. Anyway, I usually recommend everyone mix their packet with about 18, 20, 22 ounces of water. This is about, if you look at the level of my shaker cup here, that's about where I'll fill it up to on average, maybe a little higher depending on the flavor. That's about 20 ounces of water. I usually recommend you, in that range, that 20, 22 ounces of water, you drink it over a period of time, about 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, possibly up to an hour. This is not something you're going to chug, and it's not something we're going to drink over hours. If you drink it for a long period of time, the same drink, you're not really going to get enough ketones in at one time to really make a huge difference. There should be no issue with someone, an adult, starting with a full packet every day. If for some reason you may be someone who's really sensitive to sodium, or maybe you have some pressure issues, you may want to start with a third or a quarter or a half packet first and then work your way up to make sure you tolerate it well. Very, very rarely we have any kind of issues. In case you didn't know, the caffeinated versions of the product contain about the equivalent of a cup of coffee, 90 milligrams. If you're someone who's very, very sensitive to caffeine, you may not want to use that. There's not a problem with using more water. You can use less water if you'd like. Some people go 30 ounces. It depends on what your taste is. It's not a problem to add more water, even a little less. I usually don't recommend doing very, very low, like 8 ounces of water, or chugging it. If you're gonna ever have a problem with your stomach with taking this, it would be chugging it or using not enough water. But there's really no wrong answer to what your flavor profile is. Again, some people, because we have natural sweeteners in here like stevia and erythritol, they might find that a little sweet. Some people find that sweet. So you can always add more water. Some people sometimes notice that with the Swiss cacao, if they're very sensitive to those kind of natural sweeteners. I always tell them, if you find that that's too much for you, the Swiss cacao specifically is a flavor you can mix with an unsweetened almond milk or coconut milk. That usually takes that flavor down a little bit and makes it much more palatable for those people who may find that stevia erythritol blend a little bit sweet for them. So when we drink it, I said in that 20, 30-minute range, 15-minute range. Usually we're going to do twice a day. That's the point of the challenge kit, right? 20 packets. You do it twice a day for 10 days. One in the morning, one in the afternoon, evening, calf in the morning, decaf at night. Again, if you're someone sensitive to caffeine, I would not be drinking the caffeinated late. If you're someone who could drink 3 cups of coffee and go to sleep, then, good on you. But usually the easiest way to use this stuff is, hey, I'm going to drink my ketones in the morning, in the afternoon, evening, and I'm going to eat when I'm hungry. That's the simplest, easiest thing. Again, we like to stick to more low carb and or higher fat if you can, if you're going to do keto lifestyle. But the great thing about this product is you don't have to do the keto lifestyle to get benefit. In fact, not that I recommend this, but even if you're having a not clean diet, you still should drink this. Sometimes people hold it, well, I want to use it on a day when I'm good. Actually, this is a great way to fix a mistake on a bad day. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So a lot of times, especially if you're doing intermittent fasting, this is a good thing to take in the morning, in the beginning of your fasting window, in the evening, once your fasting window begins again, and it does not break your fast. Okay, the point of a fast is to put you into ketosis, whether you're doing an intermittent fast or a full-on fast. This helps you get ketones so you don't break your fast. It does not break a fast at all. Okay, other things could. This product does not. So hopefully that's important. You guys get that. If you're going to eat, throughout the day and have this around that time, what I usually tell people is try to have this about 2 hours or so away from your food, preferably after a meal, especially if that meal has carbs. Okay, so here's the thing: if you're eating something that's going to put your body into a glucose burning state, glucose burns kind of quick every couple hours. So you want to use the glucose, and as it comes out after about 2 hours, then put yourself right back into ketosis. That's a great time to use it. If you want to know how long the product lasts, if you will, you'll be in ketosis for anywhere from 3 to 6 hours. All right. The more adapted you are and your activity levels, and obviously getting food in again, those are the things that will affect that number. So if you're new to keto and ketones, you've never been in ketosis before, you may only be in keto for 3 hours. Someone like myself who lives in a ketogenic state, lives a ketogenic lifestyle for a very long period of time, I might be in there for 6 hours after taking it, or longer, because I maintain that lifestyle. If you're doing high level activity, you may burn through them quicker. Again, it's just a fuel source, just like anything else. But 3 to 6 hours on average, what most people experience. Talking about activity, if you want to maximize an exercise routine or workout, I recommend you finish your ketones about 30 minutes before your exercise. So usually your maximum level of your ketone level will hit around 40 to 60 minutes finish drinking it. So I'll tell people, hey, if you're going to go to the gym at, let's say, 10 o'clock in the morning, start drinking your ketones around 9. You'll finish around 9:20, 9:30, hit the gym at 10. You'll be at a high level of ketosis. You're going to have a better workout than you've ever had before. All right? Further, faster, stronger, longer is the best way for me to explain it. So for you, cardio, whether it's, you go for a long period of time or you're doing interval training, will be very different. In fact, you'll look and go, why is this not harder for me? Or why am I not winded yet? That's really cool. If you're doing, weight training, usually you'll find you're stronger longer than your exercises. You'll get to later in your workouts where normally maybe you wouldn't be able to move so much weight, moving it better. You'll be able to have muscle memory bounces back quicker, and actually your recovery is amazing. When I started using this product, no matter how long I had been at the gym, no matter how heavy I went, I didn't have any soreness the next day or minimal discomfort, and my strength was where it was no matter how long I had been out. It's pretty amazing how well this stuff works for exercise. And there's so many other benefits, right? We talk about fat loss, not weight loss. So remember, when you're in ketosis, you're burning fat. Because again, when your body breaks down carbs and protein, it makes glucose. When it breaks down fat, it makes ketones. So we're giving you ketones, right? So your body is in it's a fat burning state, if you will. You're going to burn fat and spare muscle, and actually even build muscle. Ketones have been shown through research to be anabolic, meaning they can actually help grow muscle, which is pretty awesome. So remember, you're burning fat, not weight. There's a difference. Weight loss is everything you have. It's every piece of you. So as you lose that, your number will go down. The scale will move. When you're in ketosis, you're just burning fat and you're sparing or possibly building muscle. So yes, the scale will come down, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose, the scale will move. But it's going to move differently when you're using ketones than someone who's using glucose. So what that means is that instead of a scale maybe doing this for you, it might do this. It may have a weird slope. And that's because your body is burning and recompositing itself. It's burning fat and recompositing. And remember, fat takes up more space than muscle, but it weighs less. So let's imagine that you lost 3 pounds of fat, but you gained 3 pounds of muscle, especially if you're someone who's exercising. The scale is going to say 0. No change. All right? But if you measured inches, you see the difference because fat takes up more space. So I recommend that you don't just focus on the scale, that you also take measurements with a tailor's tape, that soft kind of tape measure, on some key areas like the waist, like around the chest, around the thigh, and keep that same localization of spot when you do it, and see if that changes. So if you're not losing weight on the scale, look at your inches. Look at how your clothes fit, because it's very common for people to go, my scale didn't move, but I lost 2 inches. That's change. Sometimes I've told people, like, you may not hit your goal weight, but if you look like you did, would it really matter? A lot of us really so honed in on that scale that it's like, no, I have to have that number. But understand that this is going to work differently. So don't be like, well, I expected to lose 10 pounds and I lost 6. Well, first of all, if you lost 6 pounds, that's awesome. Congratulations. But at the same time, how many inches did you lose? And wouldn't it be nice to know that all you did was burn fat? It's pretty awesome. So ketones are diuretics, and so is caffeine and alcohol. They're all diuretics. They're things that make you lose water. So understand that when you're in ketosis, you're going to need more water and probably some electrolytes. So what I recommend is definitely keep your water up when you're using your exogenous ketones. Very important. Okay? So I'd like 6 to 8 glasses a day of water no matter what for people. I would refer you actually went higher than that. 100 ounces a day would be really awesome, but at least maintain at least 8 ounces. 8 glasses rather. And remember, caffeine is also diuretic. So remember, your caffeinated ketones may make you lose a little bit more water. All right? If you can, take an electrolyte maybe once a day, especially if you're someone prone to that kind of loss, if you're getting cramping, things like that. Not that this is something we see traditionally with all the time with people with ketones, but sometimes if you have those kind of things, it's important to maybe add an electrolyte in. I use some different ones. There are definitely some low and no carb good ones out there. If you need, you can let me know. Prove It also makes a great one called Mitoplex that you can throw right in your drink, and they're going to be coming out with flavor versions of Mitoplex soon. And we're doing this video on May 23rd, 2020. By the time you watch this, it may be long, in the future, and then we may already have flavored Mitoplex. But right now, it's an unflavored flavor. And it's a great natural thing because it's basically an upgraded electrolyte because there's other things in it. Things like PQQ, which helps with mitochondrial function, has a little bit of creatine, which helps with muscle growth and mitochondrial function. So there's definitely and methylation. So there's some great additives in there, not just electrolytes. So that's why we like to use it. Beyond that, those are the main pieces. All right. So again, use it twice a day. If you're going to use it once a day, that's great too. You'll last longer. We really, you'll get great results with once a day. We get even better results with twice a day. Beyond the fat loss, guys, and beyond the better performance. Remember, this is a better fuel for your brain and your body. So when it's better fuel for your brain, you'll have better energy. You'll have better focus. And when we talk about energy with ketones, it's not like a false energy where you drink 4 cups of coffee and you're bouncing off the walls. No, this is just being awake and aware. Like if you're someone who gets tired at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you usually need that pick me up, or maybe you take a nap. That's when I'd say drink your ketones, or a half hour before. Hey, every day at 2:30 I'm tired, I'm yawning. Drink ketones at 2 o'clock. You're not going to have that anymore. I'm not a feel it guy with most products. So when I started using the ketones, I didn't notice a huge difference for myself. I noticed the things in the gym, like I talked about. But one of the things I noticed right off the bat was I wasn't yawning in the afternoon anymore. Like around 2, 3 o'clock, I would get tired, whether I ate lunch or didn't that day. That doesn't happen to me anymore. If I have a day where I yawn in the afternoon, most likely I'm out of ketosis. That's one way I know when I'm out, if I'm yawning at any time during the day. You can test your blood, guys. That's a great way to know if you're in ketosis. Urine strip testing is not going to be very effective with this product for 2 reasons. One, as you do ketones and ketosis for a long period of time, your body becomes adapted. You will utilize what's in your system more, and you won't pee them out. That's why the pee strips are only effective in keto diets or anything like that early on. The other reason why you won't see a lot of pee strip ketones with our product is that this product is so bioavailable, your body will use them more. The other versions of everything else out in the market, the Go BHB, all right, which every other company in the world uses, that we started with initially, with the ones that created the market with it, with Prove It, and then we advanced to 2nd, 3rd, and 4th generation ketones from there, while everyone else is stuck with 1st generation. Those products were maybe 50% bioavailable, so most of that stuff your body couldn't even utilize and would pee it right out. All right. What Prove It did was with their next technology, the Keto Max, they actually created a 100% bioavailable biomimetic, meaning identical to your body's own ketones, and they actually had the patent on that. And that was back in 2017. They launched that in September 2017. Then they made that even more amazing by making a fermentation process where they make the ketones. So not one, well, everything before was high quality product, naturally sourced. I sourced everything before I brought this in my practice. Everything was clean. There were still some steps in how to be made that were synthetic. All right, and then they cleaned all those things out so they weren't in the product, but they move into a fermentation process where there's not one step of the process that's now not 100% natural. So everything in this product is vegan, okay, gluten-free, and natural. And that was that third generation ketone, and that gave an even higher level of ketones in the blood, better digestibility, less GI issues, and better flavor profile. And then they took that and made a free cell ketone. So free cell ketone is the ketone is not attached to any kind of salt. That's why there's sodium in these products. They're ketone salts. All right, that's what makes them, powder. All right. So what Prove It then did was they developed something called a free cell ketone that was no longer bound to a salt. In this country, you can only get the free cell ketones in the Keto Up, those cans, which are equivalent to the same Keto OS NAT that you have in the way of how many ketones, and the very similar in the vitamins and everything else, slightly different, but there is caffeine in those, equivalent to a cup of coffee. The Big Apple, the Toucan Tango, and the Unicorn Slam all have the free cell ketones. The Cherry Lightning and the Orange Vanilla Cola have the same ketone salts that we have here. The reason why not all flavors are ketone salts or free cell ketones or free acid ketones because they have a sourness to them that won't work with the flavor profile. In Mexico, you're not allowed to have any sodium in any of your products, so Mexico is all free cell ketones. So which kind of and they all use allulose too. There's no stevia in their products either. So I've had the Mexican stuff; it's really great. That's not really available here yet beyond the Keto Up. So just an FYI in case you have questions about that. If you have a question about the Keto Unleashed Black Label, just so you know, they only come in caffeinated, and those caffeine levels are about twice the level of a normal keto nat, so about double the caffeine, and they have about 60% more ketones in them. So it's like a supercharged version of the ketones. Those right now currently is only 3 flavors. There's Blue Ocean, which tastes like pina colada. There's Eclipse, which tastes like a cherry, and Ruby Rush, which tastes like grapefruit. No, I don't care for grapefruit, but I love this flavor. So that tells you anything. It's like all the good parts of grapefruit. If you're not sure what's in this kit, by the way, guys, all right, there's traditionally, unless they've changed it, if you're watching this future, it's 5 flavors, half calf, half decaf. Splash is the one flavor of the main 6 mainstays that is not available in this kit. Splash, just so you know, is a very light, refreshing watermelon grapefruit flavor. It's amazing. But unfortunately, it's not available in this kit because if you put 6 in here, the numbers don't work. So you have Maui Punch, which tastes like fruit punch. You have Raspberry Lemonade, doesn't need an explanation. You have Heart Tart, which tastes like a strawberry sweet tart. There is Swiss Cacao, which tastes kind of like hot chocolate. There's Lime Time, which tastes like a very light, refreshing key lime. Okay? So some flavors are milder flavors than others. So like, I just put my blueberry acai in here, which is a milder flavor. That's why I only use this much water. If I was using raspberry lemonade, I'd probably fill it to here. Okay? Maui Punch, I usually fill to here. Splash, I'll do in between. Key lime, I usually do down here. Okay? Swiss Cacao, somewhere in between. So certain milder flavors, I like to go a little less water. Strawberry peach, I use down here. Okay, just some examples. Like True Passion, I fill up more. Again, I always tell people use a little less water and then add more water if you find it's too sweet. Because I'd rather you have, under water and then add water and then make it flavored where you like it, then put too much water and it thins the flavor out and you're not as crazy. Like that's why I always like with the new flavor like blueberry acai, I started slow. I said, okay, let's see what happens. I would bet that the new blackberry pineapple when it comes out will be a little bit sweeter. You probably go a little higher up on the cup, but that's just me. So I hope that was been very helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And remember, you may be different than someone else. All right, I've had plenty of husbands and wives use this product, and the husbands crush their weight loss, and the women, it goes slower. And then they get frustrated. Realize women and men, very different. They always seem to, you women get honest that us men, it works much more faster for us, but it is what it is. But understand that, and understand this too. Comparing yourself to other people is misery. So your journey is your journey, but we hope to see response. Again, measure inches, not necessarily the scale. And if maybe your fat loss isn't what you expected, but you saw greater energy and better focus and all those kind of things. So many people have so much more energy and ability to do things. They're like, I don't know, I decided to clean the house today. It wasn't like they did math and were like tweaking. It's like their brain was just awake and alive and focused and here. And it's like, you're motivated. Oh, two more things I didn't touch. One, ketones, because they burn for a longer lasting period of time, more sustainable energy, and then glucose will a lot of times for some people, will suppress appetite. That's actually a good thing. It's one of the reasons why this helps with fat loss and weight loss is because you're not really looking for food all the time. One of the biggest reasons biologically we are hungry is we're looking for fuel. So if it's fuel that burns every 2 hours like glucose, you're like, hungry, hungry, hungry. Ketones, hungry. All right, so you may be a long period of time. I've had plenty of people that first dose, they're like, I don't know, I drank it at 10 o'clock this morning and I haven't been hungry all day. It's 4 o'clock. Should I eat something? Eat when you're hungry. Don't force the food in, guys. Go with how your body's doing. That's one. Two, realize if you've never done ketones before, be careful your first dose having it late. Because like I mentioned, it gives your body energy and focus. And sometimes if you've never had ketones before or that's your first day or so using them, that second dose like let's say you do it at 8 o'clock at night, you might find yourself having trouble sleeping. Not that you're like stimulated, I'm awake from caffeine, I can't sleep, but your brain is given fuel and it's like, I want to do stuff. All right. So that usually doesn't happen more than once or twice. So just understand that I don't like that second dose that first day or two in the afternoon after like 3, 4 o'clock, just to be on the safe side. All right. In general, ketones help you have sleep better. Because a lot of times our sleep gets disturbed because of glucose dropping in the middle of the night. There's a lot of information, guys. But this is just some basics to get you warmed up. I don't want to overload you. Any questions, feel free to use the group. That's what we're here for, or even drop a message here below. If you're new to the group or you're bringing someone new to the group, feel free when they come in to tag them in this message, in this video. So that way they can say, hey, watch this video first. So they get some good input as to what this is all about and what to expect. And again, I encourage you all to share your experiences here. Because my experience may not be the same experience as you, but someone else may have the same experience similar to you, and that would really help them to hear your experience. All right? So guys, you're awesome. Love you all. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm here to help and answer as many questions as I can. Dr. Ketone out.